What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Tuesday, June 18th, 2024, and we are back with another stream here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and if you are new, welcome to the channel. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video and go live. And just in case you don't get the notifications, make sure that you click the Discord link that is pinned at the top. I'm gonna actually start doing that more often because I know that the Discord link sometimes can expire when I have the Nightbot do it, and you have to like change it like ever so often. And I need to actually take that out of the rotation so people don't click the link and say, "Oh, it's expired," and people are like, "Oh, Torian link didn't work." So I'm gonna start doing that. Shout out to all of the members, everybody over on Patreon, and all of the people who show love to me on the different social media platforms that I'm on and send me stories. I greatly appreciate it. So before we go ahead and get into everything today, let me go ahead and acknowledge the people who are here so far in the chat. We have Jane Smith, Denise Scales, and Denise got me laughing right now. I don't know if she's in the chat right now because I haven't scrolled down, but she I think Denise thought I was going live midday today because of the comment that she left at 11:40. But shout out to Denise, SD Johnson, C Archer, Jerry Bedford, Hackson KT, Sun Kissed by the Most High, Seven Ham, Derek Parker, Wallow J. Oh, there's Denise right there. Spoke her up. Donna C, Savion Zero, DSM Sinister, Chris Vesey, Andre Edwards, Darlene Parsons, Yosef, live from NYC. I appreciate you. Shout out to you for kicking off the super chat.
It's busy up here. Woo! I'm rich! I got money.
Shout out to live from NYC for the don't know. I appreciate it. We got Scoop 2003, Lakeisha Mitchell, Daughter of the Most High, Marjorie Lemons, God Amongst Mortals, PD That Remains, Tron So Motivated, Missions Visions. And that is it so far. It says we currently have 77 people that's in here so far. Be sure to go ahead again and hit that like button. I would appreciate it. So yesterday, live stream was a little bit depressing. So I didn't drop the link for that, but I told you what I will be talking about today, and we'll be definitely dropping the link for that. Now, we're probably going to be here for a little bit because it is a video that we're going to go over in the subject matter of what we're going to be discussing today. And also, I saw the poll results for the Juneteenth stream that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So based on the results, which were actually very close, by the way, the Juneteenth stream will be in the evening. It'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I looked at the results, and the results said 57% of y'all voted for the evening and 43% voted for midday. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't expect it to be that close, but it was. But those were the results. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is around this time tomorrow, 24 hours from now, we will be doing the Juneteenth stream. So be sure to be back here for that. But today we are going to be talking about Candace Owens' new grift. Now, if y'all saw the premiere video that I did yesterday, I talked about a grift that she has going on right now with that Monect app or whatever that is. We can call her and she can give you some kind of advice. I don't know why anyone would call her for advice, and she gets paid a boatload of money for basically doing it. But that's not the only grift that she has, y'all. She has quite a few. All I'm going to say is this. By the time we get through this stream, y'all going to realize something. She's missing them daily wire checks. She is missing them daily wire checks right about now. And y'all are going to see exactly what I mean by that. And shout out to Denise for the 5. She says, Torian, don't forget, I'm 60. Sometimes I be forgetting what time the live streams are. I won't hold
It's
you.
busy up here. Woo! I'm rich! I got money.
So yesterday, again, we went over, like on the premiere, we'll talk about some kind of advice that she gives. I wouldn't know. But today we're going to go over a video that she posted. It's actually the first video that she posted up on her YouTube channel, ever since she got the boot from the Daily Wire. Now, keep in mind, her YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers. She completely just ditched that to go over there with Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire and them and just completely left her main account in the dust. And so much in the dust that this is the first video that she uploaded on her channel in like over a year. So if y'all actually, as a matter of fact, if y'all are subscribed to Kid Gravity, y'all probably already saw this video. But for those of y'all who are not subscribed to him, or maybe you missed it, then we're going to go over that particular video today. And shout out to the people that's again in the chat. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that like button, and we're going to go over this video right now. Yes,
ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back. Yes, I am genuinely so excited. I can't even tell you guys how excited I am.
The reason why they're finally back again is because this is the first time she's uploaded on her channel in over a year. She deserted this channel to go be over there at the Daily Wire. Now, my thing is this: why weren't you posting on both channels? Like, why couldn't you post on the Daily Wire where your job was, and then post on your main channel as leisure? This is the first video on her YouTube channel. I downloaded it, but this is the first video that she posted on her YouTube channel, not the one attached to the Daily Wire, because she can't post over there no more. This is the first video she posted on her YouTube channel in over a year. When she got that job with the Daily Wire, she just stopped posting over there until now. And now she's talking about we're finally back, as if her channel was like she was locked out of her account. She wasn't locked out. She could always go to. She probably never logged out of it. She just never uploaded anything over there.
To finally be back with all of my friends, just speaking about things that are on my mind. Genuinely, we have so much to catch up on. So much has taken place. What did I miss?
The Daily Wire has parted ways or fired.
Oh, this clown right here. Oh my God. This is another person right here I can't stand. I'm telling you, this video is probably going to cringe the hell out of you, but there's some grifting stuff that she's going to mention in here that we're going to point out. But this is another one. If y'all don't know who this is, this guy goes by the quartering here on YouTube. He's another one of those geeks and gamers types, the ones that's always throwing around the bastardized version of woke. He's them. Some of y'all probably have heard of him.
Candace Owens.
The Daily Wire severs ties with Candace Owens.
Candace Owens is fired.
Was she fired, or did she leave of her own volition?
Jeremy, the God King of the Daily Wire, announced that the Daily Wire and Candace Owens have parted ways.
Daily Wire and Candace Owens have ended their relationship.
Got to ask you about the recent departure of Candace Owens.
Justifying why he fired Candace.
Like, look what's going on with Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. I want to know what she was fired for.
So as you can see, first off, I don't even think she edited that herself, but the way she's framing it, she's trying to make it seem like, oh, look at all these people. They care so much about me and me being fired. And now I'm going to go out of my way to make it seem like Ben Shapiro's the only bad guy in the situation, as if Candace Owens doesn't have a hand in her own degradation. But she's going to play up that victim part as if she had no part in her getting fired from the Daily Wire. Keep in mind, this is the woman that had the so-called blackest week ever at the end of Black History Month, only went on 2 so-called black platforms to speak to 2 people, Charlemagne and Joe Budden. After she did that, she didn't go to talk to anybody. Notice who she went to talk to. No one who's not going to push back against her narrative and her rhetoric. She went to safe spaces. That's what she went to. Heblay says, hey, Torian, will you cover that TikTok N-word girl? You know what? I'm actually surprised that her 15 minutes actually didn't last that long. They got her up out the paint quick. I don't think she's going to go. A lot of people thought she was going to go far, but her so-called grift was a grand opening, grand closing. If I do choose to talk about her, it'll probably be in the form of a triple P. I'm going to be honest with you.
Dang. All right, well, apparently I missed a lot. Welcome back, guys, and this time, it's just Candace. Mommy.
Bro.
She gave you have got to be kidding me here, now? Didn't I tell you to go to the bathroom before we got into the car? But that, of course, is not the only elephant in the room. I kid, there is a much bigger one, and we will address that too. You know, for me, my podcast, I describe it as just talking to my friends on the phone. That's what it feels like. I don't even feel that the entire world is listening. I kind of am just like, hey, oh my gosh, did you see this? This is crazy. Oh, I just read this crazy book. Oh my gosh, what does this mean about our government? It's corrupt. It's like talking to my family on the phone. And then we kind of sort of find out that the entire world is listening when all of these hit pieces are being written about me. And I'm like, oh, basically being spied on. Why is somebody listening to our private conversations? So yeah, when I found out really kind of sort of definitely with the rest of the world that my show had been rather unceremoniously canceled, it was upsetting. It sort of felt like you're talking on those old school cord phones late into the night and like your parents are sleeping and then you think they're sleeping. And then suddenly your mom picks up and she's like, yeah, this conversation is ending right now. And you're.
If this is Candace Owens' backstory, I'm already annoyed and bored. See how long it takes for this skank to get to the point? We didn't need to we didn't care about any of this. I'm just doing this because, hey, it's content. Why not? And for some reason, my audience loves when I go in on her. So here we are.
You're grounded for 2 weeks. It's over. Deeply, deeply upsetting. And I think also something that was strange is that when most people leave their jobs, they just sort of leave their jobs. It doesn't really become this global news story where everybody feels like they have to comment. Yeah, a worldwide Twitter trend for an entire week. Crazy. And I want to say this, I genuinely, my entire life, I believe that you should always aim to split amicably, whether that's in a relationship, whether you're in the midst of a divorce, which I hope never happens, or whether it's just leaving a job. I mean, why else would we put years in anywhere if you did not want that relationship to end amicably? That should always be the aim. I want you to know that wherever you are going, don't put in years somewhere and then have it be a messy split. And quite frankly, I also think it's the right thing professionally not to speak about why you are splitting or what's happened. But I was shocked, very shocked, and I'm sure you were shocked as well when...
Actually, Candace, I don't think you was as shocked as you claim to be. And for myself, I can only speak for myself. I wasn't shocked that you were fired either. And like someone said in the chat, she's speaking as if she was let go. See, there's a difference between laying off somebody and firing somebody. Candace, you were not laid off. You were fired. They said your services are no longer needed. You've overstepped your boundaries outside of the realm of what we hired you to do, which was to be our puppet, which you did for them, I guess, for them in a good way because they kept you on for as long as they did. But then when you decided to go outside of those bounds, they got rid of you. So now she's up here. Basically, y'all, to give y'all a summary before we get into the rest of it, she's going to spend this whole video victimizing herself as if she did not know what she signed up for. As if she was blindsided. As if we're supposed to feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her. And I know the people in the chat that are watching and listening right now don't feel bad for her either.
And no sooner was the split announced than Andrew Klavan just was like, hey, it's me. I pick myself. I'm going to be her crazy ex-boyfriend. Just like a bizarre tour he went on. He felt like it was his duty, or maybe somebody knighted him and said, you know what, Andrew Klavan, this is your duty to go around and to just smear Candace Owens. Say whatever it is that you want about her.
Candace, if that's not the pot calling the kettle black, is that not what you've done ever since you first popped up on the scene? Was to smear black people? I mean, just throw out a name and she smeared them. George Floyd was probably her biggest smear campaign out of all of the ones that you could think of. She went out and made a whole so-called documentary about it. Everything that she could possibly say about anybody else could be said about her 10 times over.
And there's a piece of this that everybody's missing, and I do want to talk about that. I think Lauren Chen really summed it up, or at least pointed to it on Twitter. She sort of said, you know, what's really missing in all of these conversations with Andrew Klavan is, are you guys recognizing that he's basically saying she was really nice to him? That there was nothing that she did from a personality perspective. Yeah, that is kind of the big part that I think a lot of people are missing. Lauren Chen is correct. I was nothing but kind and nice and warm to Andrew Klavan for years. I had what I would describe as a very good working relationship with him, as I do with everybody. It's important to me to always represent myself professionally, also to always be nice and check in on people's lives. And just a few weeks before this, Andrew Klavan was sitting across from me on backstage, asking about my kids, asking us how I was doing, talking to him about the fact that I had had a surgery.
Now look at that. Let's look at that imagery right there. Hold on, let
To
me run
me,
that back.
to always represent myself professionally, also to always be nice and check in on people's lives. And just a few weeks before this, Andrew Klavan was sitting across from me on backstage, asking.
Look at this imagery right here. This woman is very comfortable being the only black person in the room. She's the only black person and the only woman, for that matter, in this room full of a bunch of other PC men, just laughing it up about something that's probably not even that funny. And now she's out on that limb, all on her lonesome. I can't wait till we get to the part where she starts talking about her new grifts, because that y'all are gonna laugh so hard at that. I promise you.
About my kids, asking us how I was doing, talking to him about the fact that I had had a surgery. I had been walking around in a boot just a little prior to that because I had a surgery back in December. And I think that is just, I don't know. I don't even want to say it's strange, more than strange. I think it's dishonorable. You know, a lot of people go, oh, why do all of these young men follow Tristan and Andrew Tate? Why don't they follow people like, I don't know, Andrew Klavan? And I've really spent a lot of time trying to understand how it is. And I think this was just recently announced that someone like Andrew Tate has become the third most Googled person in the world. That was recently announced. The third most Googled man in the world is Andrew Tate, his brother. They are from the wrong side of the tracks. How do they gain a following of so many young men following them? I think that one thing I could bet my life on is that if me and Andrew Tate were enemies, he wouldn't be sitting across from me asking me how my kids are. He wouldn't. I also want to say that just in terms of how I've always behaved with my colleagues, if I ever had a disagreement with something that they said, I would never do anything other than to go to them directly. I would not be holding on to anything. In fact, this is a true story. One time, Matt Walsh tweeted something, and I thought that he just didn't have all of the facts. I'm not even going to tell you what the situation was. It wasn't that important. But I just called him.
Now, I want y'all to keep this in mind, y'all. Keep in mind of all the people that she's bringing up by name, you know, who she's been in the room with and all of that. Those are people that should not even be praised like that, especially that last one she just showed, Matt Walsh. Now, that guy's as anti-black as they come. Look at the company she's kept. The person before that, Andrew Tate. That's who she's in company with, or was in company with. Now, because you got the boot, now you want to talk shit. It's too late, Candace. You've already been exposed. I mean, we already pretty much know, or we pretty much can know about you.
And I was like, hey, saw your tweet. I think that you should talk to this person because I think there's something that you're missing. And Matt was like, oh, well, I'm not going to change my mind on this. And I was like, I'm not asking you to change your mind. I just want to introduce another fact. And I got him on the phone with somebody else and they had a conversation. I don't even know what happened with that conversation, but that's just the way that I would expect colleagues to behave. But you would just raise something directly with the person that you are seeing on a day-to-day basis. But Andrew Klavan didn't do any of that. And what he said about me, and the reason why I'm responding forcefully, is because it rose to a level not just of tremendous dishonor to him as an individual, but also to blatant defamation. Andrew, he just lied. I know, it was just such a weird thing for me to watch. He was lying with such gumption. And I'm going to show you guys how you really can sort of sniff out these sorts of lies in politics in general. And we're going to start by just cutting to Andrew. He, on his second appearance talking about me, because, you know, he really wanted me gone, but also can't stop talking about me, appeared on a show called Cross Politic. And he was explaining my alleged anti-Semitism. Take a listen.
The Daily Wire parted ways with Candace Owens, and part of it was things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. And she was doing it in such a way that it was kind of hard to pin down. So I was trying to show where these things happen.
Strongly anti-Semitic but in a way that was difficult to catch. So what we're veering into here now, obviously, is just like Black Lives Matter, giving you a definition of racism. It's in a way that only people with expert eyes can see it. Otherwise, he would just throw up a clip and be like, wow, look at this crazy thing Candace said, how anti-Semitic. This guy's really a racist. He's just like dropping N-bombs. Like, obviously, this person is extremely racist. But when you get to this sort of like, it was done in a way, you just know that it doesn't exist. That they're just going to have.
You want to know what another problem I have with Candace? Is she parades herself as if she's the smartest person in the room. I told you a lot of these bootlicks like her, listen to how they talk, not just in their tone, but just what they say. They speak in this very elitist way, as if they know more than anybody else in the room. You can't tell them nothing. They are over intelligent. They're like a Rhodes Scholar, and they feel like they literally can get the one up on you in anything. A lot of the stuff that she talks about has already been discussed, but because she has a platform that reaches a lot of people and they gravitate towards her like bees to honey, then they're going to say, oh, Candace, you are so smart. You are so intelligent. Remember that time when they kept trying to say Candace should run for president? Yeah, basically, James Smith, he says basically it's babble.
Have to make it up. They got to Jussie Smollett it. You know what I mean? You just got to make it up. And guess what? Andrew does just that. He jumps into a Hitler hoax. By the way, let me explain to you what I mean when I say a Hitler hoax. We live in 2024, okay? If somebody ever comes to you and says, like, I don't know, I'm a black person and somebody tied a noose and left it around my neck, that's probably a hoax. It's just people are not tying nooses in 2024, and it just reeks of a hoax. For a Jewish person,
so there weren't stories of black people being actually lynched with a noose in the last few years, Candace, even though they tried to say it was a suicide. See what I mean? Let her talk long enough. Let her talk long enough. And in her case, it doesn't even have to be that long of talking. And they were always telling themselves.
And Andrew is racially Jewish. If they're trying to sell to you that someone just like jumped up on stage and started being like, yes, I love Hitler, or like, you know, this person was just glorifying Hitler, you're probably being lied to. 99.9% of the time, it's a lie. And they do it because they have built up Adolf Hitler in our school books. They know that we instantly just recoil when we hear, oh my God, this person is supporting Hitler. So Andrew just jumps right into a Hitler hoax. And here is what he says, or at least what he says that I said. Take a listen.
But when you start saying things like some of those books Hitler burned weren't so bad, you know, I was shocked. This is something Candace actually said. I was surprised to learn that the books Hitler was burning, or the Nazis were burning, they weren't good books. They were bad books. They were socialist books.
Andrew, my friend, Andrew, my former colleague, I just don't know how you can do that. Am I broken? Like, I don't have the ability to lie like that. How could you believe that I got on my platform and I was just like, yeah, no, Adolf Hitler, like when he was burning books, it was great. I just thought it would be totally fine for me to do that. Of course, that's not what happened at all. Actually, I wasn't even talking about Adolf Hitler. It was an episode that I was doing on psychology, and I was talking about how a lot of the people that have brought forth modern ideas of psychology were perverts. And I listed 3 Christians among those psychologists.
It's funny she's talking about Christianity. Didn't she just leave being a Christian to go be a Catholic? She left being a Christian to go be a Catholic. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong down in the chat. I believe that's her husband's religion. See, like I said, Candace, you were only a prop over there. They only used you when you talked about certain things, but when you got to talking about them, that's when they decided to give you the axe. And this is her way of, I guess, getting back at the people that she feel, quote unquote, betrayed her. And even with her doing this, is always going to fall on deaf ears because they're always going to have the one up on her. Remember, Candace, they are the ones that brought you onto their platform, not the other way around.
And the psychologist he is referring to is Magnus Hirschfeld. He happens to be Jewish, but that wasn't important to me. I was just talking about psychology. It was no more important than the Christians that I had mentioned on that episode. Didn't need to mention that they were Christian, just the fact that they were perverts. And so what he's doing here is he's actually defending a pervert, Magnus Hirschfeld, by pretending that he is Adolf Hitler and that I said, oh my gosh, it's so great that his books were burned. No, I just introduced a fact. An actual fact that lives on the Holocaust Museum website. It's a fact that Magnus Hirschfeld's Sex Institute was burned to the ground by student protesters. Literal fact from the Holocaust Museum website. And here's what I actually said thereafter. In my view, he's a pervert. Doesn't mean that his library or his institute should have been burned down. There's no excuse for burning down an institute. There it is, you guys. Does that sound like someone who's supporting the burning of books in any capacity? No. And that's why he never showed the clip, of course. Am I supposed to believe that he didn't have access to the clips and the statements that I made at the Daily Wire? That he's not subjected to the same fact-checking process that I was subjected to every day that I was at the Daily Wire? That he just couldn't find out what it was that I...
And it's funny while OJ just brought that up. I just wanted to tell y'all, I downloaded this video. Is not sped up. I didn't alter her voice or anything like that. That is her talking at the normal speed. She always talks like this. They all have that same kind of cadence in their voice when they talk. That is her. That is her at the normal speed.
Actually said, of course he could. He just wanted to lie and he wanted to smear me. And I think that that is awful. I think that's really awful. So what is it that I did that actually upset Andrew Klavan? That was kind of what I did. I've had such a great relationship with this guy. What did I do to deserve this? I would never do this to him or any person. What did I do that amounted to him planning an attack on me and smearing my name, absent any clips, absent any context? And he kind of gives it away in the title of his episode. Because Christ really is king. And this, honestly, is just where things got a little bit disturbing for me. Andrew, for 5 entire months, had been seething, unbeknownst to me, never mentioned it to me, never when I saw him, over a tweet that I had sent last November, where I shared a Bible verse. And I ended the Bible verse, here it is, take a look at it, by saying Christ is king. It's just a Bible verse, okay? You will note that
I remember when she posted this, and this right here, this tweet right here, y'all, that y'all see on your screen. I remember this. This was the beginning of her demise. This tweet that she made on that day was the beginning of her downfall. That's, if y'all remember, that's when they started to say, okay, enough is enough. She's gone too far. She's flying too close to the sun. Now it's time to cut her wings. It was this post right here.
Nobody is tagged in this verse. This was not a response to any thread. It was a standalone tweet. But remember, Andrew is lying his face off, right? So he says, okay, this is the tweet that upset me. Now I'm just going to pretend that this tweet was delivered in a different way. And here is how he lies again.
The truth that hid wickedness, that I thought was the most wicked truth to use, was the truth that Christ is king. You know, when you spit that phrase at Ben Shapiro,
that she used Christ as king in an argument with Ben Shapiro, where it obviously carried this weight. And so that's why I was addressing it.
So there you have it. No, of course, I did not spit that phrase at a Jew. I just tweeted it all by itself. I did not use that phrase in an argument with a Jew. I just used that phrase at the end of a Bible verse because that's an appropriate time to use that phrase when I was calling for peace after actually somebody insulted me. and called me faux sophisticated. And it was meant as nothing more than, I'm calling for peace. That's it. Christ is king of my heart. I don't need this drama because, if you remember, I was 38 weeks pregnant. And so
38 weeks pregnant and still touring around. Remember what I told y'all, how all that buck dancing and tap dancing she does while she's pregnant, she's like literally going on these so-called college campuses and so-called owning these liberal college students who are like 18 to 22 years of age, and they think she's actually doing something. I said, I know your feet is hurting, your feet is swollen, your ankles are out, like literally poking out of your shoes, out of your Crocs or whatever shoes you're wearing. Any other woman at that moment in time will be on maternity leave. And what she's doing, still collecting a check or checks by being their willing attack dog. Well, now, Candace, now that you are not with the Daily Wire anymore, should that ever happen again, at least now you can give yourself a break.
obviously the world responded because I guess Andrew thought it was such a brilliant idea to launch this attack on Christian doctrine during Easter week. And people didn't like it. They didn't like it. And I just want to say I am so grateful to all of you who defended me and said how wrong this was, what was happening, how it's just you just don't treat a colleague like this, and called out the sinister nature of what it was that he was doing. And he kept it up, trying to justify it, doing interview after interview after people essentially revolted and said, how can you do this thing? By then veering into what I would call Hitler dog logic. They're like, what are you talking about? She said Christ is, what is wrong with her saying Christ is king? And he has an explanation. It's Hitler dog logic. Take a listen.
And there is a substantial coterie of people, anti-Semites, people who hate Jewish people, who are using Christ the King as what the left would call a dog whistle. And they use it to spit at people. There are pictures of Nick Fuentes, who is a raving anti-Semite, shouting Christ the King in this kind of aggressive, pugilistic way.
Let me pause it right quick. Beautiful said Candace's husband is a millionaire. Well, the way that she be floating around, you wouldn't know it. You would think that she's the biggest financial breadwinner in that relationship. The way that she's the one that's always seemingly working. Some people didn't even know this woman was married. And for those who knew she was married, don't even know what her husband looks like.
To mean essentially Jews are screwed. That's basically what they're saying.
So there you have it, you guys. Candace didn't actually say anything, but this person, Nick Fuentes, also said Christ is king years before Candace. And apparently Andrew Klavan thinks that Nick Fuentes wrote the New Testament. And so anytime you are going to use Christ is king, Jesus is king, you be sure that you recognize his Hitler dog logic. Do you have a dog? Do you guys have a dog? Did you know that Hitler also had a dog? Have you disavowed Hitler today with your dog? Yeah, well, then that would make you a Hitler lover. That is straight up leftist logic. And I love how he attributes that to the left. He's like, well, the left would call this a dog whistle. Apparently the woke right would call that a dog whistle as well, a Hitler dog whistle.
Woke right, Candace. Interesting verbiage coming from you. Interesting verbiage coming from her. Now, I've heard that phrase recently, woke right, but it wasn't from her. It definitely wasn't from her. I keep telling y'all, they be watching a lot of the content that we put out here. When have you ever heard Candace say that until now? Sean said she's using woke like before. Oh, she's used it before, but she's never said woke right though. She's always said the liberal left or the woke left, but I never heard her say the woke right before. And like I said, she's not. When I first heard it, it wasn't from her.
You're just basically attaching me to someone for absolutely no reason throughout multiple interviews for no other reason than the fact that you personally have issues with that person because of the way that they have attacked you. It is ridiculous. But you know what? In the scheme of all of this, I can't even be that upset with Andrew because I think he attacked himself in the process. He showed his own character as he was trying to attack mine. He revealed his own character. But you have to ask yourself, what gave Andrew the courage to lie so belligerently? Other than the fact that, by the way, the person in charge of fact checking at the Daily
Donna says she's begging Massa to get back in. That's part of it. But what she's doing is that she's bringing up people like this person she's talking about. So again, so she can put herself in the victimized role as if she did not play a role in her own demise. Because she has to make it, she's putting herself out there as if she did nothing wrong. Let's keep this in mind, people. Granted, what she's saying in this video, she has issues with them folks because she got fired from them folks. But she was a willing participant in their grand scheme of things, especially when it came to attacking us. And what she did when it came to attacking us is unforgivable. Remember, she kept trying to say, I'm having the blackest week ever. That lasted for what? A week and a half? And then she was out finding a new grift. And once she gets to this particular part in this video, y'all are going to see what I'm talking about.
Wire, the general counsel, is a son-in-law. So I think that probably helped it get through the fact checks. He's married to Andrew's son. But what else gave him the courage? Well, what was it that Kanye was saying about the contracts? He must have known that I couldn't reply. He must have felt comfortable knowing that I could not say anything to defend my own name and my own honor, but he tripped into something different when he started lying on me in a way that rose to the level of defamation. And so I can defend myself against you, Andrew. I can defend myself against you, and genuinely do not wish bad on you still, because I don't want that on my heart. I don't want vengeance and hate on my heart. I wish you all the goodness in the world. In fact, what I wish upon you is a sacrament of confession for doing something with such thoughts to plot for that long, for months. This is just it just defies belief with me. I could never do that. I would just go speak to my colleague. And here's what I will say. Always in my life, when things like this happen, there is always a reason. And it is because it inspires me. It inspires me to.
You can hear the fake in her voice. Everything she just said right here, she does not mean. She does not mean an ounce of that. She wishes and hopes the worst for this guy. If not, why did she go through how long she been talking? Almost 20 minutes. Saying what she said. She does not wish this dude well, and I'm sure he doesn't wish her well either. So again, she's just up here babbling. She's up here talking for the sake of talking.
To be great. It inspires me to be greater than I had been. And it inspires me to win against people that are doing bad. And so we decided to have some fun. So many of you guys sent me emails. We were just completely inundated with emails of people asking, how can we support you? And it's one thing to.
Okay, y'all. Okay, this is the part of the video I couldn't wait to get to. So here it is, y'all. If y'all are here in the chat, y'all are in the right spot. This is the part where she's going to start talking about the new grift. I'm laughing because it is so funny. This part is so hilarious. I cannot wait till it got to this part.
Be like, hey, we want a donation. It's another thing for us to be able to create a product which will help support this show in all of the ways that it is growing, you guys. I am introducing Standis cups, not to be confused with a Stanley Cup. The first one.
Oh shit, not the Standis cup. The Standis cups, y'all. The Standis cups, y'all. Not the Stanley Cup, but the Standis cup. Let's see what's so different about this Standis cup that is not in line with the Stanley Cup.
One that I am going to sign is going to go to Andrew Klavan. On the front here, we have the show logo, and it says, Christ is King. And yes, in.
Okay, y'all. What does that logo look like? What? Okay, this is the logo right here. What does that logo? What does that look like? I want y'all to tell me, what does that look like? Exactly, Moj. It looks like a fetus. That's exactly what it looks like. I still don't know what it's supposed to be, but to me and to you, it looks like a fetus.
Indeed, the back says woke right tears. I am telling you guys, these are all the rave. You're going to want to head to clubcandace.com. And when you buy one of these Standis cups, you support the show. You support us being able to stay independent. And by the way, here's what we're going to do. We're going to discontinue these. So this is the white one. We're going to discontinue these every time we hit the next million subscribers. So right now, I think, what are we at? Like 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. When we get to 2 million, this gets discontinued and we're going to create another Standis cup and you're going to have to collect them all as we climb back up to the following that I had. I think we were close to 4 million subscribers. It's okay. We can rebuild.
Now listen to that. She just said that she had close to 4 million subscribers. Now this is on her original channel. Candace, here's a thought. If you didn't abandon your channel to go over there and tap dance and sambo shuffle for the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro and them, maybe you would have maintained that audience. But see what she just did? She literally distanced herself from her old audience to go over there and build an audience over there on the Daily Wire, a place where she can't even go on anymore. And they still remain. And the thing is, because she didn't own it, any revenue that she was getting from those videos, Ben Shapiro and all of them still can retain. She doesn't get paid off of that anymore. They cut her off. So now she has to rebuild. Even with the million subscribers that she has now, she had more than that. But they deserted her to go over there, probably to follow her over there. And now what they're going to have to do, try to follow her back. It's like a pendulum.
They get to keep that channel. We get to build this channel, and it's all going to be great. So I really do want to thank Andrew Klavan for the inspiration to launch the Standis cups. So many things you can do. It withstand us any temperature. If you have a disagreement with someone.
Now listen to this. This is her pitch, y'all. This is her sales pitch right here. I want y'all to listen to how ridiculous this shit sounds.
And back up to the following that I had. I think we were close to 4 million subscribers. It's okay. We can rebuild. They get to keep that channel. We get to build this channel, and it's all going to be great. So I really do want to thank Andrew Klavan for the inspiration to launch the Standis cups. So many things you can do. It withstand us any temperature. If you have a disagreement with somebody and you want them to understand you, these cups are going to be absolutely amazing. Not to be confused with Stanley cups. Those.
Actually, let me pause it right there. It actually is to be confused with Stanley cups, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. So we're gonna pause this video right quick. We're gonna come back to that, but I'm gonna show y'all something from her old channel, the one that she used to have over there on the Daily Wire. So check this out, y'all. This is a video on her Daily Wire account that was called Candace Owens Podcast that she posted back in January of this year, where she's talking about these Stanley Cups and who it was marketed to. Now, I want you to listen to what she's going to say here and realize how much of a hypocrite she actually is.
These are different cups. I am
now this I did speed up because I didn't download this video. I actually came across it right before I got on to the live, and it's a good thing I did.
Going to be honest. I know that my audience trusts me to tell them the truth, and that if it's crazy, I will let them know. But if really this cup is superior, I will tell you the truth, guys. That's what this is all about, telling women the truth. And here we go. All right. So first up, we have this Reduce. That's the brand. Here we go. I actually really like this one. This is great. I'm a fan. Okay. Now we have the Slim. I actually am a Slim drinker. I like my Slim cup. It doesn't have a handle, but this one does.
Now keep this in mind, y'all. I want you to keep this in mind. This one right here where my cursor is at, that's the Stanley Cup. This is the one that she's mimicking now, that she's selling.
Okay. Now we're going with the Yeti. This is more thermos style. Unfortunately, I'm unable to open it. So this one has instantly been... It's bad. Clearly not a good cup. I can't open it. The Stanley Cup. Oh my gosh. Let me drink from it. Let's see. Oh my God. Guys, oh my God. It makes me want to tell you guys the truth. It makes me do it one more time. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Guys, I gotta be honest with you. It all tastes like water. Nothing made me want to drink water more. Actually, I preferred this. I like the height of this one better. Strangely enough, the reduced was my favorite. And then I would pick the slim, and then I would pick a Stanley. And I know that right now I just lost a lot of fans. I'm willing to accept the fact that people are not going to speak to me. But here is the truth about what's happening with the Stanley Cup phase. These things happen. Like, white girls have their things that they go crazy about. I have accepted this and I respect it. I am actually a defender of white girls when these trends come around. It was the Beanie Babies in the...
Look at what she just... Listen to what she just said. I am a defender of these white girls when these trends come around.
Respect it. I am actually a defender of white girls when these trends come around.
Is that so, Candace? So much, in fact, that you ended up having a cup to sell and you called it Standis, and then say not to be confused with the Stanley Cup, even though your cup looks just like the Stanley Cup and it has Stan at the beginning of it. You just took off the Lee and put dis. But sat up there in January and said how ridiculous it is. Now that you have gotten cut from the Daily Wire and you ain't getting them that checks no more, now you have a Standis Cup. But it doesn't stop there, y'all. It does not stop there. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Y'all are probably wondering to yourselves, Torian, how much are those Standis cups going for? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because here we are. Here's a screenshot from her clubcandace.com page. And we're going to zoom in. And we're going to see it says clubcandace.com. It has her writing, her name right here, Candace. Limited edition autograph Standis cup. And here it is right here. So let's scroll down some. Here's the cups again. There's the autograph one and there's the non-autograph one. For a regular Standis cup with no autograph, just that fetus, $59.99. But if you want the autographed one, that's going to run you an additional $100-something. Are you insane? You could go to any store and get a cup like this for way less. I wish I would pay $60 or $150 for a signature. I wish I was making this up, y'all. That is how I actually went to the site, and that is exactly how much these cups cost. And there's somebody's out there that's going to pay for this and has paid for it. But wait, y'all, there's more. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with those Standis cups, but it does have another part of her grift going on here. So check this out. Look at this. Candace, 100% of your support keeps Candace independent. Become a supporter and get access to exclusive content and the ability to engage with the community. So they have a subscribe button. You can do a monthly or an annual, a monthly of however much you want to donate, and an annual. Now, I'm guessing that the 77 is probably the minimum you can do, and the monthly is $7. Or you can click this button and give annually. Oh, but if you thought that was it, I got one more to show you. So in case if you didn't want to buy a Standis cup or support her on this page, you can always join her team on the CandaceOwens.rev.co. Candace Owens, in a world of safe spaces, Candace Owens is creating one where thoughts can flow freely, from politics and culture to good days and bad. Follow her straight into the center of it all. Support Candace Owens. So you got a $5, $10, $15, $25, $50, $100, $250, and other. You says you can make this a monthly recurring donation, or it can be a one-time thing. You put your name, email address, zip code, city, state, and number. Then you can click if you want to get notifications from her. Then you put your card number in, a password, and all of that. Or you can create an account. We just went over 4 grifts that she has. The one that I did in the premiere video and the 3 y'all just saw. Mind you, all of this pops up after she got cut from the Daily Wire. What's going on, Ingrid? You said, hell no, I'm not supporting that shit. I don't think any of us are. But the thing about it is there's people out there that will support her. And I just realized Fakem is right. Fakem is in this picture. I can tell this is old because he has a neck. Right now, that man is literally nothing but head and shoulders. So this is definitely an old picture right here. Then you got Rob Bousset Smith right here. And you got ABL right here. This is almost set up in this page right here is set up almost in the same way that Trump has his when they found him guilty. Yep, y'all remember that? And it said you can donate monthly or whatever the case may be, so on and so forth. So yeah. Honestly, I don't need to show the rest of the video. I really only wanted to show up into that part. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop the link and y'all can go ahead and come right on up. And again, if you have not joined the Discord, the link to that is pinned at the top of the chat. Feel free to join because, like I said, the notifications may not always go out, but I can tell by the number of people that's in here right now, the notifications were working today. So the link is right there in the chat. Click it and you can come on up and we can talk about this foolishness. And when I say foolishness, I'm talking about her. AW1, what's going on?
What's going on, Torian? No, I know your ears are hurting right now from hearing that fool.
Unfortunately, I'm used to it, but then I'm not at the same time.
I could just say this. She sucks, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everyone in the chat, put a thumbs up if she sucks. If that's okay with you, Tori.
Yeah, hey, that's fine.
But yeah, she, it's, I mean, y'all called it, man. It's like their time is up. And they're trying really hard to hold on to their audience and their finances, I guess. The stuff she said, saying that she never lied, the stuff she said about Breonna Taylor, and then and that stuff she said about Ahmaud Arbery really irked me, really got on my nerves. And then other, black folks in general, side with Asian folks, said, oh yeah, black folks do racially profile Asian folks. Oh yeah, oh yeah, massa. Oh yeah, massa. She didn't say massa, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
but it's like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And now that you bring that up, I think what pisses me off about the whole situation with involving her with her doing that is that you still unfortunately have some black people out there that will say how smart and intelligent she is. I'm like, do y'all not know what she said a few years ago about people such as yourself, especially if you are a black man? Really go back and listen to what she said about you in particular. This woman is not worthy of any praise from us at all.
She literally puts targets on our backs, and that's the problem. And the thing is, and that's one thing. And I'm glad you made that point because I'm gonna finish it off by making that point, and then I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, that's one thing that worries about me with these grifters, especially people like her and the other ones. I'm not gonna mention their names; they don't deserve it. It's just that it's the black folks. I don't care about the white folks, Asian folks, brown folks. We expect that, but it's the black folks I'm worried about that are falling on them. That's what bothers me. The young black mind's gonna be corrupted by these idiots. But all right, man, keep doing your thing, though, Tori, and keep up with our youth. Be one.
Shout out to AW1. Next up, Oh, we got a person coming up that hasn't been up here in a while, but I understand why. True Royal, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So how's the Royal?
It sounded like you cut off a little bit.
True
Royal.
You really broke it down really well. It's very insightful. A number of things. You know, we know that Candace is always about money.
Oh, definitely.
I question, why is she pandering first and so hard for some coins if her husband is, you know, wealthy? I guess you don't have I guess you don't have access to his money, but she's worried about something behind this. And, you know, she's in her feelings because she thought she was in, you know, she's behind the scenes making little side jokes and saying whatever she's saying about Black folks and stuff like that. And these folks don't trust you when you don't show loyalty.
Oh, definitely not.
They may not, but they will respect you because you are, you know, you are loyal to your folks. So she's more hung up on who likes her and stuff, and, you know, saying them little sly things and stuff like that. Them people, they know what you about. Just think she fooling white folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she thinks she doing. And,
she don't even have them. She don't even have
like
them
when he's.
Well, some of them she might, but yeah.
There's money in her to say what they say. Yeah, they will do that because they're trying to invest in our demise, but really it's about their demise at the end of the day. And she's being controlled by the dollar. So she's you know, yeah, she wants the money, but she still wants to be liked, be in favor, and she thinks that she's one of them. Candace has no friends, and I like things when like this happen. These coons that do this stuff, they need to have an experience, and it needs to hurt to the core. They need to feel something. You know,
one thing I've always said is that when people like her get their wake-up call, it's going to come from the people who ask she kisses all the time. It's not going to come from us, unfortunately. If we had the economic power, we could have been gotten her out the way years ago before she even got to this point to have the platform that she has. But until that time, I always say the people who ask they kiss the most, that's going to be the one that's going to hand them their wake-up call. I mean, look at all the people that had fallen before her. You got Stacey Dash. You got your favorite person, Paris Denard. I remember back in the day, you used to stay on Paris Denard, and when he got his wake-up call, I still remember that video, that stream that you did when you had said when that stuff came out about Paris, and he said, Paris, you about that life. I still remember. I still remember that.
Man. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, he was about that life. Sure was. It got the pimp hand big time. But she's really in her feelings. I mean, why are you going on and on? You know, you act like you one of them. You're supposed to roll with the punches and all of that. And she got some concerns, and you put all your eggs in one basket. You can't come to she was never a part of the Black community anyway. So the things that you'll see time and time again, they do ridiculous stuff. But see, she's vain on top of that, up there trying to sell them old high ass cups. I seen them same cups at the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've seen those cups a whole bunch. I remember when they went crazy with them Stanley Cups back then. At first, when I first saw it, I'm thinking the Stanley Cup, like the hockey teams, like when they win their championship, the Stanley, because that's the only Stanley Cup I was familiar with. And then when I saw it was basically a water bottle, I said, all the stuff going on in the world, and these white women are going crazy over a damn water bottle.
They are. I mean, Yeah, they got people out here collecting them and everything. But you know, I worked in the world of construction, and they used to years ago give those things out to us on the job site just as gifts. And now they charging you $60 for that, and they may not be a unquote Stanley Cup, but they're just as good quality. I literally have seen them in the Dollar Tree. I mean, and then you got your little funky name on it, or your little funky scribble scrabble on it, and to show you how vain she is. Your damn books didn't sell, so why you think that mess gonna sell? See, her fan base, she don't really have a fan base, because if she really had a fan base, they would be buying whatever merch she put out there, be buying that stuff in droves, and everything. And I just question some things. Why is you out here pandering real hard for some coins? You know, you done laid up with Esau and had 2 children for him. I wouldn't be. I mean,
3.
Oh, she got 3 now. Damn.
Remember she was pregnant late last. I think she had the baby.
She having them fast.
Late last year. Yeah, exactly.
And then you seeing she in her last trimester of pregnancy, ankles all swollen and busted, and you still out here pandering real hard. Girl,
I remember seeing a video. I remember seeing a video of her late last year, and she was so-called checking again, like I was saying earlier, these college-age students, and she looked so exhausted. Like she looked like she was about to faint right there on the stage. You can look at her face and look how tired she was. That's why I said you doing all that buck dancing. I see. If you actually like did what you were supposed to do, you could have been at home just resting.
Yeah, with your heels kicked up. So something is not right on the home front. But remember, Taryn, when I put that video up? Now she told on herself. This ain't nothing that I made up. She told on herself over there on Twitter. She caught her husband having sex with her brother, and she wanted to join in. Then what she did, she took the video down. It wasn't the video, was whatever she had quoted. And some people had screenshotted it, and it came from her. Something ain't right behind the scenes at home on the home front. Why is you always gone from the house trying to make money, and he's supposed to be this big time millionaire and all of this? Something ain't right. And whoever put it up, I agree with them. In 3 years, she gonna be sitting up here slinging snot, getting ready to get a divorce, because he gonna take them kids from her. He not gonna pay you. No way and stuff. But you know what? She need to continue to get hurt by the enemy, because she worshiped them. Them, and she thinks she like Trump. She can just be flippant and say whatever, and there's no consequences for her behavior. But you had no problem making money at our expense. I keep saying there's a cost messing with royalty. It's a cost. It really is. And she's paying the price. So I thank you, Taryn. I know maybe some other people want to come through. I thank you. I'm always watching you. I may not always comment, but thank you, Taryn. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming up. Shout out to True Royal for coming up. Next, we got Blueberry. What's going on?
Hey, good afternoon, Tarian. Good afternoon, family in the chat.
How you doing?
I am well. It is 64 degrees and sunny. I'm outside.
Yeah, at least you have pleasant weather where I'm at. I mean, it's not raining, but it's kind of hot.
Let me tell you something. I feel nothing for Candace at all.
Same here.
I was so glad that she got her nigga wake up call by the very same people she thought she was in good. First of all, those Jewish guys are on code. Jewish people stay on code. You can kiss their behinds, but you will never, ever be one of them. You can, laugh at their little jokes, try to make the same moves as they. No, baby. And then you had the nerve to make a statement which they perceive as anti-Semitic. No. You can do all of that coon babble, but it's I'm white and I say so. And all of them got on code. Even the non-Jewish ones got on code, baby. She forgot who she was, where she was, real quick. Okay? And then she didn't think ahead because, baby, You got 3 kids to feed. Why are you out here hustling sippy cups? Okay? Overpriced sippy cups that look like some daggum fetus on there. All right? Ain't nobody gonna go for that because I'd always ignored Candace. I remember when she was at that university and she filed that lawsuit, and the NAACP had to come to her defense. This was a while back, and
Everybody know about that.
then she flips. And just what disgusted me, and I'm still bitterly angry about this, what she said about Ahmaud Arbery, what she said about Breonna Taylor, you see, that is going to roast her ass in the special place in hell where she belongs, honestly. And just like the previous person came up, they don't respect her because she's not loyal to her own people. And see, Jewish people in particular, if you're not loyal to your own, you're nothing and nobody. She don't know that. All right? That's why she is getting everything and then some. Wait, there's going to be some more with this downfall. Yeah, her husband is probably putting in the paperwork to cut her off completely and boot her behind. She's racially homeless, and pretty soon she's going to be physically homeless. And yeah, he's going to take all 3 of them little spots, stripes, or whatever they call them. Well, they call them half castes. They don't call them biracials over there in England. Okay, and he going to take them kids from her, and what's she going to do then? She really will have to open up her OnlyFans account.
Oh God.
I just had to get my licks in, and that's all. Thank you, Brother Tarian and B1.
B1. Shout out to Blueberry for coming up. Next up, we got King Kobe 313. What's going on? Oh, Snapper says device is not connected. All right, well, hopefully you can get that situated. Next up, we'll bring up Wallow J. What's going on? Oh God. you listen, you pulled a Kid Gravity. Now, if you didn't have your screen name up there, I would have thought that was him.
I was, but I was like, nah, I don't know if he's going to recognize it. But yeah, everybody know Kid's probably not in the chat, but I had to get my Kid Gravity on today. How you doing, Brother Torian?
I'm doing good.
Man, the fall from grace continues for this heifer right
No, not a fall from grace. It's a fall from disgrace. This woman was never sitting on a mountain called grace.
Yeah, the fall from disgrace. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The fall from disgrace of Candace Owens continues, and you just gotta love it. Like, I remember when KG posted about, well, we saw it on his live talking about these Jesus Christ. How do you make that a word? How do you make those a words? Like, seriously, she wants to be so white so bad.
And that's why when I was looking it up, because initially when I was doing this video, I was always going to cut it off at the point where she got to those, because I think she probably mentioned another grift in there somewhere, but it was much later, and I was like, I'm not going to destroy y'all with the rest of it. I just wanted to get to that
beef,
part.
right?
The what?
The beef from the farmers or something. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So technically, y'all didn't see the other one that was later on in the video. So technically, she has 5 grifts, but she when I got to that part, I wasn't expecting to come across the video where I showed y'all when she used to be at the Daily Wire, because when I was looking it up, I was only going to pull up how much those cups cost and the other 2 grifts that she had. But then when I came across that, I said, let me show this to the audience so people can show what she said in January. Like I said, that video clip y'all saw was from January, and at the end of January, at that, it was January 23rd. And what she said about that, and now you have something called a Standish Cup, and then you said not to be confused with a Stanley Cup. What? You literally have the word "stand" in front of it, and to be a play on words with your name, and then have "dis" at the end, which is the last 4 letters of your name. Come on now, and it looks just like the Stanley Cup.
Exactly, but like Blueberry and Royal said, they don't respect you because you're not loyal to your people. Like, if we're gonna be honest, they may not like Tariq Nasheed, Umar, Dr. Uncle, we have Phil Scott, you, Afro. They may not like y'all, but honestly, they probably respect y'all more because y'all stand up for your race, you stand up for your people. She don't do that. None of these coons do. You talk about your own people. What the hell you think they gonna, if they were like, wait a minute, if they say that about them, what the hell they gonna do to us? Like, think about
like
that.
you said, they don't like traitors. They only tolerate you because you're used as a shield for what they really want to say. But when they don't need you anymore, they will discard you. That's why when November the 5th swings his ass around here, and hopefully sooner rather than later, then that's what's going to end up happening. Like, I can't wait for that day to get here. Like I said, many people have already fallen on their sword. By now, the rest will be around that time or a little bit after that time.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't think Kansas will come this early this year. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I thought it'd probably be sometime next year or later on this year, not early in the year.
Yeah, like Cat Williams said at the beginning of the year, he said this is going to be the year of exposure. Who would have known that him just saying those few words in the first week of January would lead to all of this? It sounds very prophet-like.
Yes, sir. But I'm gonna get off and let somebody else come on. I'm gonna go back and suck in this white straw of mine.
Pause.
You can see it.
I caught that one. All right, shout out to Wallow J for coming up next. We got the Church of Black Power. What's going on?
Whoa, Wallow J. Whoa. I just had to say.
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to say, this. I know none of our family, none of the B1 family had Candace Owens turning into the ShamWow guy on their bingo card. I promise you.
Not the ShamWow guy.
I promise you. Because I watched the whole thing when KG posted it. And when I say the meat commercial, oh man, it was hilarious. I don't even care, man. As long as I can laugh as much as I've been laughing throughout this week with this woman, I hope she puts some more things, god dang it. Because what I know is this. I know 100%, it's 100% likely that husband of hers, he got him a nice little prenup. So if she's working on getting some funds together so she can divorce him, that's the reason why right there. That's absolutely the reason why. Especially, I don't know if it happened or nothing, but if she walked in on the dude and her brother, I mean, you might want to get up out of there as soon as possible, but that's just some common sense, you know what I mean? But I'm telling you, I didn't expect the ShamWow. That was it's just getting better and better. I appreciate you for having me up, Tori.
No problem. Shout out to the Church of Black Power. Hey, Jonathan, are you still outside? Because I see your video was on, but it looks like you were walking. I just want to make sure there's like no background noise. It looks like you might be good.
Yeah, I'm still outside, but it's no noise.
Hold on right quick, Jonathan. I didn't realize it was that much noise. It's a lot of wind. That's like he's saying, y'all got to be in a quiet space before y'all come up here. As I know y'all want to speak on these topics, but the noise is kind of unbearable. And this is not just for Jonathan. This is for anybody. When y'all come up here, y'all have to be in a very low background noised space because I am not about to compete with that noise. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, it looks like he's inside now.
Yeah, I'm inside now.
Okay.
Sorry about that, man. I was on my way to a boot camp, but I thought I'll get my thoughts on this.
Okay.
First off, I thought it was very hilarious that she's that desperate to sell quality cheap cups at such a high price. Like I've seen much smaller, much better looking cups at a cheaper price.
Oh yeah,
So
like someone said earlier, you can find those cups in a dollar store or anywhere else. You can order cups like that off of Amazon for much cheaper. As a matter of fact, I have a water bottle that has, you know how you have those water bottles that has the time on it, you know, the times the drink, but like down the bottle. I have that bottle, and that bottle probably ran me a little over, maybe close to a little over $20. Imagine me buying or paying $60 for a cup that is not even the same size as that bottle.
you'd be a damn fool if you spend that much money on that cup. A
And it's
cup
some
that's
fool, and it's some,
small at
and it's
a
some,
hot
and
price.
it's some fools out there, because I actually went to the website and it had like 5 reviews on it. Like some people bought it, but I think it was some white women that bought them. But that was their target audience anyway. So
Well,
some people actually did spend money on it, but I think it was only 5 customers. Now I don't know how long she's been peddling this cup, but there's some people out there that are gullible enough to buy it, and I'm not telling you they're only buying it because it's hers. But still, even though I would not pay $59.99 for a cup I could get online or in the store for like $12.
man, the fact that she even have those prices as high as Jordans, like you got your little Walmart cups for Jordan prices. That's insane. That's
$159. I'm $150.
exactly. I buy Jordans with that type of money, but not those damn cups. Those cups always been like somewhere between $15. Sometimes not even 20, just probably 15 or 19.99 at the most. So I don't think what she was thinking, making a profit off there. She lucky that she even got 5 customers that bought that.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. She has to mark them so high because remember, she's not getting those Daily Wire checks anymore. So she has to mark stuff that should not be that high, so she can make a profit in hopes that her name will be enough for people to purchase it.
And
where was this cut when you was working at the Daily Wire? It was non-existent. You just came out with this because that's why I said she's missing them Daily Wire checks. They were paying her nicely over there. All she had to do was fall in line, keep doing what they were doing. But she burned her own bridge. I don't feel bad for her.
No, I feel nothing. In your words, I feel nothing. And then the minute situation, $5,000 for a minute for a live chat. Hell no.
Yeah. Yes.
And I would take advice from an 18-year-old before I take advice from her. Like the stuff, what she said about Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, now it's obvious she don't know shit about advice. She would not be a good advisor, so I wouldn't even go to her. I don't go to traders.
And you shouldn't. But we all know we're not her target audience, and she knows that.
Mm-hmm.
She knows who her audience. She knows exactly who her audience is. So I don't think none of us would have to worry about that. I would not spend an ounce of that. Now, what's crazy is when she initially talked about the advice, the calls or whatever, it wasn't even $5,000 initially. She raised it to that. It was actually lower than that. That's why when I had brought it up to KG, he said, I thought it was $1,500. I said, no, that might have been last week's price, but this week it's like $5,000. Now, mind you, I recorded that video at the end of May and just uploaded it yesterday. So who knows where it might even be at today. And I even went back to check to see if the site that she was using is still active. It's still active. She's still using it. So like I said, this woman has grifts all over the place like a spider web. You just look at the web and you just pick one. That's literally how it is for her, opposed to when she was at the Daily Wire. She didn't have any of that because she didn't need it. So this is what she's doing right there. And going back to, yes, we know her husband is a millionaire. Some people are questioning how wealthy is this man really. I think somebody looked up and said his net worth is like $240 million. So the guy is far from broke. But it sounds to me like he might have her on some type of an allowance. And it's not enough to sustain her, quote unquote, personal lifestyle. For her to keep up appearances, because she seems to be, to me, like to be a high maintenance person just based on the attire that she's wearing, on the trips that she's taking. But he probably has her on an allowance where, okay, here's your monthly allowance, make sure to spend it wisely, and I'll see you next month.
Obviously that's what's going down, because she's not making the money like she she used to ever since she got cut from the Daily Wire. Bro, she's
And
desperate times comes for desperate measures for this girl. Like she's come up with all these ridiculous projects to make money, and ain't no way in hell it's gonna work out for her. Should be like I said, she had 5 customers buying her cups, and if anyone was foolish enough to take her advice, she'd be lucky about 2 people spun $5,000 for that. But after that, it ain't gonna last.
exactly.
Like once they stop, come to her for advice or stop buying her cups, she probably most likely ain't gonna have nothing left. And I'm just waiting for Brandon Tatum, Terrence K. Williams, and all the other the coon idiots to be right in the same situation where they at. November 5th can't go on.
Their time is coming, because understand this. Candace was probably the more bigger name out of the 2 people that you just mentioned. If this can happen to her, those 2 are far from exempt. You got ABL over on X right now trying to say that he's no longer a conservative.
Oh,
He over there. I don't know if you saw it or not, but he over there on X right now trying to declare he's no longer a conservative. I said I'll believe that shit when I see it, and even if I do see it, that's not going to take away from all the off-code stuff you said in the past. See, the thing is, they're realizing that their grip is over. Everything is starting to cave in on them. The house of cards is falling, and they got nowhere to go. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they ain't coming over here. You gonna stay your ass right where you at over there, and whatever they decide to do with you, they're gonna do with you. If they decide to toss you to the side, hey, go be a nomad. Go create your own land over there. I don't care what you call it, and do it over there. You can't come back over here. Don't run to us for cover.
The fact that he called himself a conservative, he's not conservative. I don't really follow ABL too much. I saw a few of his videos, and he just make excuses for the white people too, like everyone else does. Greg Foreman, he makes excuses like he can't find a good video about a black person doing something, a white person doing a crime. They can't do nothing because they got too much of a full white audience, and you really got a full audience that can just turn on you anytime, and y'all doing all this grifting that's not gonna last, and it don't come with no benefits or no retirement benefits or anything. So you think you're gonna be old, gray hair doing this stuff, man? About time when some of these people reach in about 2 or 3 years, we probably gonna be hardly hearing about these so-called black conservatives, these wannabe white blacks.
Good. That's what we want. We want to not hear about them. I guess for them, they can say it was fun while it lasted, but nothing lasts forever. Like they say, eventually all tools will be broken. Like eventually your time will come up and your time will be up. And that's just really all there is to it.
Bro, I'm telling you, I can see it right now. Like they gonna be doing stuff to get money, because like I already see it. Terrence K, he's already losing his grifting too. He's falling down around the same level as Candace. Charging those high ass syrup pancakes and all that I could buy for $10.99 or cheaper.
Exactly. See how he has to make something cost so much for something you can go to the store and get better quality for less. That's what I'm talking about. They literally have to jack up their prices like that because they know that they can't sell them they have to have a point where, okay, I can't sell it for less than this, because if I don't, I'm not going to turn a profit. And it's amazing that I don't even think they'll turn a profit even selling it at the high price that it is.
Man, all I can say is they screwed. They are screwed. And I think they know it, because they getting desperate at this point. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to get to the point. And as for Tatum, I can see it. I can see him divorcing his wife in the future. It's going to go down. Like it's going to get
you mean
bad for him. Slave master.
Might as well be.
Slave master.
I call her his handler because I think she's like his producer or something like that. So
yeah, his wife manager.
That's why I call her his handler.
But yeah, man, all this stuff, God is going to punish. God watches everything, man. And one thing God don't do is traitors, racism, grifting. Like when it comes to God, you don't have to sell your soul to make money. Even if you ain't intentionally really hurting your people, you just money, he's not gonna take that lightly. Like if you need money, do it in an honest way. This is not only some of these are doing it for the money, but they're doing it dishonestly. Like you ain't got to throw us on the bus just to make your money, man. Like I would rather listen to y'all all day than listen to their fakeness for like 5 minutes. All this stuff y'all doing for these folks on the other side, thinking that their grass is greener on the other side, and kind of find out their grass is brown as doo doo.
Dry spots, dry brown spots.
Dry spots.
Hey,
but one thing,
Jonathan.
One thing I don't. Okay.
Hey, listen, John.
Go ahead.
You off, but I'm about to actually end the stream. Yeah, I wanted to have it done by 7:30.
Well, it's time for me to go work out anyway. So be one, my brother.
All right, B1. Thanks for coming up. All right, thanks, Jonathan, for coming up. And that is going to bring this stream to a close. Shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to everybody that contributed. Let me acknowledge the people that I didn't get to catch. Scoop 2003, Tron So Motivated, live from NYC, John C. Winston, and
It's busy up here. I got money.
Shout out to everybody that came through. I'm glad we had I think we had about 350 people in here. So shout out to everybody that came through for the stream today. Again, hit the Discord link at the top of the chat so y'all can be in the Discord with all the other family, and you can be notified whenever the videos go live, because again, sometimes YouTube doesn't send them out for whatever reason. It is what it is, but I know on Discord it's very reliable. We will be back here tomorrow. Y'all, tomorrow is the last We Fought Back series episode. I'm going to put the premiere window up after this stream ends. I had asked people last week, who do you think is going to be the last one? And I think only 2 people got it right as far as what the last one was going to be. Also, tomorrow is going to be the Juneteenth stream. That is going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And remember, I made an announcement last week that I'm going to be dropping new merch tomorrow. The new merch will be unveiled during that stream. So be sure to be there tomorrow so we can engage talking about Juneteenth, and then you will be able to see the new merch. With that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe and be one.